So hello everyone. Sorry for the delay. It's the end of the first shift of many in a 24-hour stream, so it's bound to be plagued with issues. So you know what? I didn't say it at the end of the last one, so I guess I'll jump into it at the first of this one real quick. Did you guys why don't we start with you real quick? Tell us where you are on the internet and all that good stuff.
I'm everywhere. No, just kidding. Yeah, my name is Light Nevada. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch under the same handle. I know I keep saying this, but I hope to stream back soon. Been having some, of course, OBS issues, but I think I fixed it. So hopefully, whenever I get to play, I'm going to play Cuphead Rage.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Jal, you're not streaming, but you do lots of stuff on the internet.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at ChroniclesTyria. I run the Guild Wars 2 fanfiction website that you can find at Chronicles of Tyria, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's cool stuff if you like Guild Wars 2. I know because it's how a lot of us actually a bunch of us got started either on the internet or became friends. It's how I started doing anything on the internet. So my roots lie there in GW2 and COT. So thank you again for the follows. Let me jump in front of Hypertroller here. We are close to 1,000 followers here on Twitch. When we hit that, there's a massive D&D giveaway. So you guys following for the Extra Life stuff, be sure to stick around. All right, so Hypertroller, what about you? Do you do stuff on the internet? Can people find you places, or are you just a Hypertroller?
Well, a little bit of both.
All right.
I used to admin a bunch of role-playing groups on Facebook. Some of them are still active, but there's not much to say, really. Things kind of die out frequently. People have issues. You can always follow me on Twitch for when I will eventually start streaming.
Okay.
I know it's kind of hard to do that on 1 gigabyte of RAM.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
But yeah, everybody follow Fred. He's cool.
Okay. Aw, you. And Mr. Benzyme, what about you?
Oh, sorry.
Do you have something else?
I think I'm loading into the thing right now on my laptop.
Okay, great. So we'll see how that goes. Benzyme.
If you want to find me, probably on Twitch. Benzyme91, same as Twitter. I'm just around.
Okay.
Not much else to say.
You're not like streaming or doing anything like that, right? Nah. All right.
I'll leave that to better people.
Well, I don't know. I hope you're not talking about me, because I don't know if that's even remotely true. But anyway, guys, so thank you. I will say, if you guys are feeling up to it, you guys here in the chat, I see a lot of you have been sharing, retweeting, and all of that good stuff. If you could continue to do that, that way people know that this is here, because the ultimate goal of this is to raise money for sick kids in need. We've already raised $1,370. So the more people that are aware of this, and it's fun, and you get to alter the way that these guys play the game, or, make things better for me. You can add monsters, you can add critical hits, critical misses, decks of many things, you can buy me coffee, any of those things. So, all right. Well, let's continue onwards. So I said Longsaddle, but what I meant was Amphail. At the end of the last session. So you guys make your way into the city of Amphail, where at which point Scarlett basically gets called away to her cloud giant buddies swing by with their raging kegger party, and she is lifted off into the clouds. And you guys are left there, the three of you, where... well, why don't we get Hypertroller? Why don't you intro us your character a little bit? Tell us the name and a little bit about your character, and we'll see what we get from that.
Okay, so my man here, his name is Parsk Nightpetal. He is an elf, a high elf. He's a little bit of a mischievous little sneak. He's been around for a couple hundred years. I'd say about 230. Um, he's generally not seen by a lot of people. He's hired on the down low to handle business when business needs to be done, and that's about it.
Okay. Well, that works. So, the only thing I will ask is, can you mute yourself in appear in?
Let me get that.
Yeah,
Because it says I'm entering a video meeting.
Gotcha.
It hasn't loaded the page.
Well, you are loaded in, just so you're aware.
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay, I got it. Here we go.
Oh.
Did it mute it or no?
Yes.
Well, looks like it did, yes.
Okay.
There we go. And I got Benzyme recentered, so we're good. Sweet. Okay, so when you enter this town, Rurik, you have a contact, a shady contact in this town by the name of Pip, who you have been... You're fairly high profile, as you've clearly just learned from your recent encounter. Hey, Buff, can you not scratch during the stream? Could you just come over here and say thank you? I'm sorry. You know that they apparently they're onto you. So you've made some time in recent years trying to find people that can go around a little bit more unseen. You know, get the information from places where it might be a little too hairy for you to pull that from. And you know that one of them is this elf who goes by Pip here in the town of Amphail. And to set the picture, Amphail is a beautiful, rich place, but it's just so shitty. And I will tell you why. See, Amphail is the place where it's close to Waterdeep, right? So Amphail is the place where all of the nobles in Waterdeep send their shitty children that they don't want to have to deal with and or discipline. So, like, they will be like, oh my god, get these little knaves out of our city. Let's send them to this other town and they'll become their problem. So, like, all the spoiled brat children live in Amphail. That's largely what it's comprised of. And the older people that do live there are, again, all spoiled, stuck up, like, stick their nose up at, people like adventurers that come through this town. They like treat shittily because they feel like, oh, look at your clothes. Oh, you have mud on your boots. You're that kind of... So they're that kind of a town. But the turmoil in this town in recent years, at one point, it was assaulted by wild dogs, and then the town was on high alert. It was under the rule, which is probably what drew Pip here originally. It was under the rule of some rogues for a little while. They had taken over the guardship of the town. They have those... a paladin came through and destroyed those rogues. Then a wizard destroyed almost everyone in the town. For a while, it was an anarchy where people had heads on pikes out front of the main manor place. And then that wizard was deposed. Then the majority of them were evacuated to Neverwinter. And now, in the past 5 years, the original clientele, the snooty parents sending their troublesome kids to this town. And that's who lives here in the town currently, to give you a little bit of history of Amphail. So, you could tell, this is also another reason, Rurik, why you would not come here.
Yeah.
Because it's just a crappy place. So, you know that there's a couple of inns here in the town, but they are highfalutin, expensive inns. There is a vast jewelry district here in this town. So if you did want to pick up any other gemstones for spellcasting or otherwise, this is the town you're going to probably want to get them in. Because it's a lot of money. People can show their presence and their power, but it's also small since the town isn't huge. It's a way to put a lot of power in a small place. It also is known for its horse breeding. There are a lot of stables around the outside, kind of. It's almost like segregated, like the horse farms are on the outside of the town, and they're out there. So there was also rumors for a little while that one of the horse breeding farms was breeding other things, but no one really knows what happened there. So, it'll paint you a picture of Anvil.
Do I know where I could find Pip? Like, do I have an inkling of how to contact him?
Yeah, there is. Let's see, where was it? There is one of the buildings sort of in the middle of town, because the town is sort of set up in rows, right? Like straight rows, like lower class, upper class, middle class, almost bossing say if you will. And in like the middle district of the town, there is a room. There's a building where one of the like outside wall, like essentially the street lights, the sconces on the wall, is a fake, and if you pull that, it will open a staircase that leads underneath the building. That was apparently used for something. No one knows why, but now it's seemingly empty recently. So that is where Pip will meet you there.
Okay, then I guess I'll bring the group there. Well, if they want to follow me.
Yeah, if you guys want to follow.
Yeah, follow.
Yeah, until we get to the jewelry district.
All right. Did you have something you were looking for in the jewelry district at the moment?
What was it? I'm looking for some diamond dust.
Okay. Yeah. So when you're kind of where you're gonna go, the jewelry district is sort of on the other side. So like you'll stop at where he wants to go, and then like just a little bit past is where the jewelry district is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys will make your way through to that area, to where you need to find this kind of sconce on the wall, and then Morthos, you're gonna continue on past, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get some music.
I'll make back up later.
Okay, so you guys look around, make sure there's nobody there, and you pull the sconce, and you are able to go down the staircase. And Morthos heads off to find some diamond dust. So, as you guys descend, it's sort of the stone panel kind of like shifts away, and there's a staircase. And as you start going down the steps, make about 10 steps, and blue lanterns light up. And as you continue down, as you continue further down, it's lit by these blue lanterns on either side of the wall, throwing everything in this kind of cool, creepy blue light. To the point where it does make you wonder, what was this used for originally? And you guys eventually make your way to the bottom of the stairs, Ash and Rurik. And at the bottom, it kind of levels out, and it is sort of it seems almost like defunct sewery. Like, it doesn't smell like a sewer, but there is dripping water, and there is sort of like a stagnant waterway there. And you can see there's like a couple of benches and some old, kind of slowly rotting away like wooden tables, and like what seems like some sort of a bar. And then you see like what looks like a bed and some sort of ramshackle like living quarters, and then sitting on the bed there will be Pip, let's say. So there you go.
Ah, welcome. What brings you here today?
I'm just gonna walk up to him,
Mm-hmm.
and I probably have like several copies of the letter that I sent to everyone.
Yes.
I'm just gonna hand him one. I have Pip. I have work for you. It's important.
All right, so he hands you this letter, and then tell us what. Well, now that it's more in your hands, what does this letter say when he reads it?
Oh my god.
Put him on the spot.
Say, I would say something like, "Hello," and then like there's a blank for the name,
Yes. Okay.
and then I think we lost.
Yeah, we may not be able to
Hypertroller.
have the video, which is fine. We can deal with it if we have to. It's not a big deal.
Oh, did it lose me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it just has like there's a blank for the name since he's trying to be efficient, sending all these letters to everyone, and it says like, "I am in need of you. It seems like the cult of Gordon is amassing forces near Longsaddle. Please come to," and then there's another blank for the place to meet up
Yep.
as fast as you can, so we can prepare an assault on the terrifying Gourds and their masters. Thank you. And then my name, well, Rurik.
Yeah. Okay. So you read this, Pip. This is what you see.
Well, it's been slow in the town. I guess I can come along. There's no problems here right now. Alright, let's get going.
All right. So as you guys are going to start to pack up to leave, from the shadows, a being appears. In a hooded cloak, seemingly out of nowhere. And Pip, you've lived here for a while, so you know, like, this place is empty. This is your place, right? So he's got, he's kind of got one of these going on, right? So he's got it, like, over his nose and his mouth, so you can't see his face, and you can only basically see his eyes. And he's in a dark black trench coat.
Of course.
Well, I mean, as one would, right? And
Yeah.
he kind of looks around at everybody there, and he says, "I like what you've done with the place." And he kind of like moves, and you see him like sitting up, like setting up chairs and things, like putting them back seemingly in a place where they were originally located. And he just looks at you and looks at the three of you seemingly disheveled. And he like stands behind one of the tables, and he says, "You'll have to forgive me. I'm feeling a bit nostalgic." And then he will, as he stands there and like straightens himself up, lanterns you didn't even notice just light up, blue lanterns on either side of him, and he opens his trench coat, and he says, "What you buying?" And he has a whole bunch of things that you guys can purchase for him or from him. And if you're interested, he has a smattering of weird magic items.
Okay.
Because I had this guy happen in this exact spot in another campaign, so I'm putting him back in.
Well, I'm a little put off with you just being here, but I'm always up for some good business. What do you have?
All right. So, you guys see a handle, because I used this last time, and I don't think anybody bought it last time. And it looks just like the handle of like a shovel. What else does he have? He has, he's got a bedroll there, like, and he starts rolling stuff out on the table. So he has what looks like a bedroll. He has a book. He has there's like a belt. There is, yep, there's a coffee pot. There is a cloak that seemingly is made of porcupine quills. What else is there? There is a little tiny metal mushroom. Something that looks like a spigot, like you would have like on a faucet. A pair of slippers, a set of glasses, and a necklace. All of these things, and he kind of like gestures at all of them. And it says again, "What you buying?"
Tell me more about that there shovel.
All right, the shovel handle. He goes, "This, it's whatever you need." And he says, "It is a shovel." And then, like, from the handle erupts a wooden shaft and a spaded head, like a shovel. And he goes, "Or a pick?" And it erupts into a shaft with a wooden, like a metal pickaxe head. And he goes, "Or a drill?" And it's like a hand auger type drill. And he goes, "Or my personal favorite, a canary." And it turns into a cage with a live canary on the end of it. He goes, "For going in mines."
Does that canary ever sing to you?
He goes, "It ain't sang for me, but I mean, maybe it's because I keep it as a handle."
That could be it. What would something like that be looking in price-wise?
And he goes, "I'm feeling generous. Y'all seem like a bunch of kids to me. And this, it's for the kids." And he'll hand you that. He'll just give it to you.
Ooh. Thank you very much, sir.
He goes, "No problem." And he kind of looks at the other two, which is Rurik and Ash. And you guys, Ash, he reminds you of someone you met long ago, 5 years ago, who seemed a little bit different. This guy seems like maybe they're related, as he's just giving out stuff to you. But the other guy was a little bit different, as in he had a southern accent and he loved Gordon. But, that's different.
What was it? There was like a silver mushroom. Actually, that one per interest. What is the little mushroom?
So, basically, it is an onyx mushroom. It's an onyx mushroom statuette. And he goes, "You can throw it, and when it hits the ground, it makes mushroom spores, and then it can poison people."
Oh.
He goes, "Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever."
How much is it?
He goes, "For you, sweetheart, I like your eyes," and he hands it to you.
Thank you.
What is that belt all about?
Oh, you want the belt? Okay, let's jump back up to the top because we're going in alphabetical order. So I was on mushroom. All right. So, let's see, which one makes it the funniest for Rurik. Oh, that's too mean. All right. So he goes, "This belt, they call it a belt of iron resistance." He goes, "You put it on and you activate it as a you activate it." He doesn't speak in actions and bonus actions because he's a guy in the world. But he goes, "It makes you resistant to all damage till the end of your next turn, once per day."
I'll take that.
And he goes, "Cool, that'll be 20 gold."
Wow. Those kind of stuff that I have to pay.
And he goes, "I don't know, you got them crazy eyes."
Fine, and I throw him 15 gold.
And he goes, "All right." And he gives it to you. I have to have I have to have fun somehow. And if it's picking on people occasionally to do stupid shit and it helps me get through 24 hours of this, you just gotta go with it.
So what's the actual mechanics of it?
Okay, so as a bonus action, when you wear this belt, it's not attunement. It will make you resistant to all incoming damage until the end of your next turn. So, and it's once per day. So it's not like crazy useful, but like because you could potentially not take any damage, and you have to go through the process of activating it first. So like if something goes first and it hits you, then you activate it on your turn. It potentially protects you from the next attack, you know. But if you're going first in the initiative, you know, so you get like one turn essentially of damage resistance to everything. And he still has the other stuff.
What was left?
Oh, you're making me remember. I was hoping that you guys would remember. There was a bedroll. There was a cloak made of porcupine quills. There was
A spigot.
a spigot. You are correct on that.
There was a necklace at the end, I think.
And there was a necklace, I believe. I think that was pretty much it. Yeah. Oh, and a pair of glasses. They look, you know, like those prisms that I feel like everybody's mom had when I was growing up, that like when the light hits it, it shines like a rainbow on the wall. Like they're those just gaudy glass crystals. It looks like basically two of those, but like with a frame for glasses.
What does that one do?
And he goes, can you see in the dark, lady with the green eyes?
Yes, I can.
He goes, well, you know how when you look in the dark, it's all gray? Everything. He goes, this makes it color for 15 feet.
Oh. How much is it?
He goes, well, what? And he opens up his other side of his clothing and goes, what you selling?
Wait, this is what I'm selling?
Yes, he's asking what you would like to sell for those glasses, or what you'd like to trade, essentially.
Well, before that, I'm kind of curious on the necklace. Maybe we could do something.
He goes, all right. He goes, you got Moxie, kid. I like that. Let's see here. And he goes, this here is, this is a necklace, a disappearance. When you put it on and somebody critically hits you, it turns you invisible. You can use the reaction, turn invisible, until the end of your next turn.
And how much is it?
He says, well, what you selling?
What I'm selling? Let's see. I would go into my bag,
Yep.
and because I have probably emerald shards for days.
Yes, you do. You also have a massive painting that you took as well. Don't forget.
Yes. I have some emerald shards. Like,
He goes, and he kind of like weighs him out a little bit, and you basically give him like a sizable handful. We'll say like what would basically be the equivalent of like a softball size, right? And he says, "Good enough." And he like pulls open his shirt and he puts him down his shirt, and then he hands you the necklace. Whoa! What the hell happened there?
I don't know. He's
Feedback.
Yeah.
All right, so he hands you that.
the necklace.
Yes.
Rurik is gonna point at the spigot and be like, "What is that?"
He goes, "It's a spigot."
Does it do anything?
He goes, "Oh yeah. It does things." He goes, "You stick it on a tree, and it makes sap.
Oh, so it's just a spigot.
No. Like, it makes the sap. You don't understand. Like, on any tree. And it's like, it's good sap. Like, it tastes good.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on anymore. It's great, though.
And he just points to the porcupine cape. He's like, is that any better?
He goes, yeah, it's probably better. He says, I got it off of this dumb chick. Thought you could use it to kill a whole bunch of kobolds. What a dummy. But anyway, he goes, yeah, you can use it to, when things is around you, you can use it to shoot off all the quills and damage people. But, like, then it takes a while and then the quills grow back. But, like, don't rely on it as your only source of damage. Maybe.
So it's kind of like when you fatten the manicore, and the manicores hit you with the spikes and they grow back.
He goes, yeah, except like a porcupine.
Ah, that makes sense.
I guess I'm just gonna take this spigot.
But he goes, all right. He goes, that's fine.
I might be interested
In the what?
in the cloak.
Okay. He will hand you the spigot, Rurik, and like as you're about to take it, he goes, 50 gold.
What?
He goes, 50 gold. Not 100 gold. 100 gold. Yeah, 100 gold.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out this item out of my bag. I don't know what it's for. It's a statuette of cosmology.
Oh,
Cosmology.
yes. And he goes, whoa, cosmology.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to persuade him.
Oh, he'll just take it. He's just like, whoop,
just
done.
take it? Okay.
He's just like, wow. And he like, you see like he opens up his cloak again, and this side there's new stuff on it now, and there's like a bunch of little statuettes, and like he puts it in there like seemingly you just filled out a missing part of his collection. You know, basically, if you think like Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy with all those little like statuettes, like that's basically what he's got inside his cloak. So he's like, all right, I like you now.
I got rid of that.
Here's a spigot. So, Tal, for the mechanics of your spigot, by the way,
Okay. Yes.
you can use an action to drive this spigot into a tree, and then it pours forth 1d10 cups of sap. A cup of sap is enough to feed a medium or small creature for 1 day. And you can use it on a cactus, and it makes a liter of water.
So it basically makes maple syrup.
More or less.
That's perfectly Canadian for me.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even think about that. Look at that. There we go. Perfect. Let's say I did that on purpose. After using this ability, though, you have to wait a full 24 hours before you can use it again. And so there was you bought the necklace, right? There was the necklace, the glasses were still on the table, and then you were looking at possibly the cloak, Pip.
I think he was.
Okay. Did you want the cloak?
Not sure.
Can you guys hear him? Because I can't hear him.
No, I can't hear him.
Alright. Sorry, I muted myself, then quickly unmuted and remuted myself without noticing.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, there was the coffee pot too.
I'd be interested in fun to go invisible, go in between everybody.
Yeah. So I forgot that there was also the coffee pot. If that matters to you. Anybody, rather.
I'll ask. What's the coffee pot do?
He goes, it makes, like, the best coffee. Like, you don't even know. He goes, why am I getting rid of it? 'Cause I'm crazy. I guess. I live in a basement house with blue lights. I come home, there's some kid squatting in it. I don't know nothing no more.
Okay, so how much for the coffee pot and the glasses?
He goes, I give you one or the other, sweetheart. I like you, but I don't like you that much.
Okay, I'll go for the glasses.
Okay, you take the glasses. And he will say, he goes, how about just a lock of that pretty white hair of yours? I'll give you the glasses.
I arch my eyebrow. Why?
He goes, I ain't never seen anybody with such luscious white hair before, and I got the emeralds to remind me of your eyes. I need something to remind me of your hair. I don't know where this accent is going, by the way. It's just changing. It's ever evolving.
I guess. And I snip a piece.
And he takes it and he hands you the glasses. So basically they look, when you put them on, to everybody but you, they look basically like kaleidoscope glasses, right? But when you look out, now that you're kind of in this dark, everything that's blue. Ooh.
I think that's that.
Yeah. You have full color dark vision out to 15 feet. So it's like it's actually a little weird, right? Because you've been
It goes up to 15 feet, you said?
15 feet of color dark vision, which is weird because if you think about your whole life, you're used to only seeing, and like it's weird because like it's a very clear, like sort of like Wizard of Oz, right, where it's all color and then it goes to black and white beyond 15 feet. Like it's a little weird, and it's a little disorienting at first, but
Yeah, because I can see up to 120 feet.
right. So you can see out to 120. The first 15 is color, and then everything turns gray.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Done.
All right.
Done.
So, and then you were gonna get the cloak there, Hypertroller.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, the cloak.
Okay.
The cloak could be quite fun at parties.
And he goes, all right, kid. I tell you what, I'll give you this cloak if you let me squat here, because this is technically my place, and I'll use it whenever I need to. I can come and stay with you.
That seems fair.
He goes, all right, I like your
know-
face. And he hands you the cloak.
Oh, thank you very much.
And as you flourish
I would recommend going into. I'd recommend when you are trying to leave that you re-put the lever on the door, or you might get blown up.
He goes, oh, I really like what you've done with the place. And as you flourish to put the cloak on, in the flourish that blocks out your view of him, he's gone.
No. Okay.
Now it has questions. Let's go.
Yes. So this cloak, by the way, just to give you the mechanics of it, you can use an action to shoot these spines out in a 5-foot radius around you. Creatures in that radius need to make a DC 13 Dex save, or take a D8 piercing damage, and in 12 hours the spines grow back.
Okay, I will try to type that all down.
Yeah, I mean, we've got time, so.
Porcupine.
While that is happening, all this is going down, Morthos, you have made your way into, like, it's not too far away, but just the amazingness of the cleanliness of the street itself is crazy. Like, this is just, like, immaculate, this area of town. And you make your way, you see, like, a very, like, stone-washed, white, like, pristinely clean brick building with big glass windows, and it just, as the light hits it, it just sparkles with all these different colored gems, and in gold, like, leaf on a sign out front, it just says, It just says jewelry, and it has like a big kind of diamond, like a typical faceted diamond cut on the sign. And you can make your way over there.
I'll walk in.
Okay.
It looks like my place that I need.
And you walk in, and there's like a little bell. Well, actually, it's not a bell. It's a set of chimes, like wind chimes. So it's like bring as you walk in. It's very melodical. And you see, and it's almost like sterile how white and clean this place is on the inside. It's not very welcoming. It's actually kind of off-putting for, let alone somebody who's like a woodsy type person, but just in general. This is just like eerie, right? And behind the counter, you see there's a couple people shopping. And there is a woman in, she's got like a blonde, like bob haircut, and she is in all white clothes, like a white button-down shirt, like a blouse with a white like skirt that goes past her, or I guess dress that goes past her knees, white shoes. She's got white horn-rimmed glasses. Yeah.
You said that there was other customers in the room.
Correct.
Are they being seen to at the moment?
One of them is being helped by somebody else. Another one just seems to be perusing, but like hands behind their back, so they're not actually like touching the glass for any of the cases, because you feel like with a place that looks this clean, fingerprints is probably a no-no.
Fair enough. I'm gonna make a statement and put a large bag of gold onto the stand and just try and get someone's attention. Okay.
The woman will like tut over to you because your bag of gold is dirty on the counter, you know. So she's like, excuse me, what can I? And she's, again, her hands are behind her back, even though she works there. As she walks up to you, and she kind of like leans in a little bit. I'm sorry. What can I do for you today, sir? And she kind of like, there's sort of like a little bit of like a nose like recoil, like, oh, you're not that, like looking up and down at you at like the mud and the dust of the travel, you know?
Yep. The horns.
Yeah, everything in general. I mean, tiefling in general, right? But just, you feel like tieflings have a negative connotation in some parts of the realms, just to due to the tie to Asmodeus. But she's more off-put by the dirt and dust on your clothes than she is on the demonic heritage that you have.
Fair enough. Yes, you will get me some diamond dust, please.
And she seems like off-put by your wording of "you will get me," not "can I please have," you know, what you imagine is what most people say. And she's like, I mean, and she's resisting the urge to like speak out, but there's a massive pile of gold. So like it's the savvy businesswoman versus like the what's proper. And she's like, and she like collects herself for a second. She says, I'm sorry, sir. How much diamond dust would you like?
Let's see. Just counting off his fingers. 300 gold worth of diamond dust. Have you got it?
And she says, I let me. She said, you don't move. You stay right there, and let me check the back. And she goes into the back. And she's gone for a few minutes.
Yeah, while she's gone, it's fingerprints all over.
Oh, man.
So she comes back out, and she's got on like a purple velvet pillow, right, on like a white tray. And you notice now that her hands are in front, she has like white gloves on, like white satin gloves, you know, that ones that people would typically use to see if there's dust on anything. And on the pillow is a vial, a glass vial with a white cork stopper with what seems to be 300 gold pieces worth of diamond dust, and she's like, and then like just her face is just horror, and she drops the pillow, but because it's a pillow, it cradles the diamond dust and it doesn't shatter, and she's like, oh! And she clutches her chest, and she just like reels from everything, and she just is like puts her hand on the counter and then takes her hand off the counter, but then realizes she has gloves on, so it's okay. And she's like trying to steady herself, and the rest of the people in the shop look over at her, and she's gone from clutching her chest seemingly in a heart attack to on the ground, hands wrapped around her knees, and she's just rocking. She's like, dirt, so much dirt. And she's just like, she's done. She's incapacitated for game mechanics.
Fair enough.
And you're
taking the vial and walking out.
Okay, so you pick up the vial and you walk out, and I would assume that your tail will just like add a nice smear of dirt on the floor as you walk out the door.
Even better, it's 2 marks because I have a forked tail.
Oh God. Yeah, and then you just hear as you walk out, you hear just dirt. So it's just, and then you hear like one of the other customers like walk over as you're walking out. You hear the footsteps on the white marble floor, and then you hear someone like, "Are you okay? Don't touch me! Dirt!" And then the door shuts behind you.
Hey, was it just Rurik that went there? Or was it?
That was just Morthos just went there. He went before they came
Morthos.
to get you. Yeah. Well, you guys when they went down to meet you, he went. So this happened simultaneously. So as you guys are coming up out of the, yeah, as you guys are coming up out from underground from your place, he's making his way back towards you with a shit-eating grin on his face right now.
Not my problem. She didn't have ask for a price.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, hey, you do you, right?
Yep. Just gonna see if I can find some random person and see if there's anyone who's dealing in ships around here.
Okay, in ships?
Yep.
Well, I will tell you that it's unlikely here because Amphale is landlocked. I mean, you might be able to get yourself a
contact or something.
Yeah, I mean, Waterdeep would have been the place, but you might also be able to get yourself like a skiff type thing, right? Because there's a river that runs nearby. Let's see if this will work. I'm gonna attempt to upload something. I can't promise.
I might know a guy. I might know a guy with criminal contacts as well.
That's true. You might know a guy. You're right. Make me a let's see, what would this be? I guess make me an intelligence check, Pip, with advantage. As you're kind of like going through your mental Rolodex of contacts.
Does this sheet have a straight advantage, or I just click it twice?
It might roll automatically, so you can try it.
Okay, so I will try to do it.
Yeah, so 15. Yeah, you actually know of a guy, that you remember he was in Waterdeep, but let's see. I need a criminal guy. And I have my go-to guy, but I don't want to use him again. So
you can always use Captain Jackson.
I could, but that's too much. Let's go with he just goes by Quint is his name. Quint. and he is a sailor. He's like a salty sea dog type guy. And if since you're looking for this, we can say that Pip can inform you that he knows a guy who knows about ships in Waterdeep.
I know a guy. He sails often. Good buddy. He can help us out. Good sailor.
Pip, you just became my best friend.
But well, all right. But here's the thing: we gotta go to Waterdeep.
Yeah, and you guys just came from there.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm still looking. There's plenty of things I still need.
Okay. I threw it in the main page, by the way, the map, if you guys saw, in Roll20. So it should be down below all the tokens, so you can see where Waterdeep, Amphel, and then if you travel further up the road there, you can see where Longsaddle is, kind of to the east of Neverwinter Wood. I don't know if I can ping on the map.
How much? Yeah, you can. How much distance time is it?
To get from Amphel to Longsaddle?
Well, to Waterdeep.
Oh, to Waterdeep? Well, they just came from there, but that would be roughly, what do we say, it was about 3 days for you guys to get here?
Yeah, 3 days.
3 days travel.
Did they walk or did they take horses?
One took there was a donkey, and there was also a dragon and an owl.
Okay. So things happened.
Yes. So, let's just get an idea here. So, if basically 10 feet on the map took 3 days, this is going to take about 3 times as long. So, roughly about 9 days or so to get yourself, at the pace you were traveling at, 9 to 10 days to get from Amphil to Longsaddle. Which is where you guys were going anyway. Say again?
Nah, my thing just accidentally rolled.
That's okay, don't worry about it. It's all good. You will pass through several towns, which is a bit of a boon. If you guys need to stop and resupply, the town of Red Larch, the town of Tribor, and you're on the long road, so for the most part, it is relatively easy travel, and it's a well-traveled road as well.
So how much quicker would taking a boat up the rivers or up the sea to Lexian or Leon?
Let's see. If you guys were to go back to Waterdeep 3 days, get a boat, go up to I'd say your best port is probably Luskin is a little bit far north, and like Anfel's a shitty place. Luskin is worse. Luskin was a pretty decent sailor town, like a dirty sailor town for a while, when it was ruled by the high captains of Luskin, but they were overthrown by pirates, and then it was ruled by pirates, and it was just a shitty place. But then about 10 years prior, Mount Hotenau, which is somewhere around there, there it is, north of Neverwinter, that volcano exploded because the host tower of the Arcane, held beneath Luskin, was let loose and exploded, and now it's basically being rebuilt, so it's not a good place. Neverwinter would be an easier place to go to.
But yeah, I'm gonna say Neverwinter is closer to where, and there's a road right through the woods to the city.
Yep, you get the feeling it may be quicker, but you may be losing time in your travel back to Waterdeep. If you guys just go, and you have to get, and count on fair winds and things. So it may just be quicker overall to just take the road as it stands. Yeah. Did you need anything else while you're here in Anphil? Well, I guess I'll ask in general.
I think I'm fine.
What about if we take the river? Like, take the river Subrin up?
Okay, yes, to the Evermoors. You could. Technically, you're going against the current, right? Because it's going to flow out to sea. So you could try and catch like a raft and Oregon Trail this all the way up north to, say, Yartar, maybe. It's an option you could take if that's a way you'd like to go. You still have to, you could basically head a little bit north to the barge right, catch a river east, and then go try to catch another kind of raft going north, which is an option you have. It's not going to be like a boat because the Cerverin's not like a crazy wide river, so it's going to be more like a ferry, I guess, heading north.
If it's a ferry, I'm assuming it's what steam powered ish.
No, it's
No.
we're not in the steam era here. So.
It's row your boat.
Yep, it's row your boat north up against the flow of the river.
Right.
I think you might as well just take the road at that point.
Yeah, I think the road's gonna be your best bet.
Either
So,
way, I think me and Ash would meet you there after like 5 days.
as Barry is just trundling along. So, did you guys need to provision on anything else before you set out?
So what else does this city have?
I mean,
Seedy?
are you looking for anything in specifically, or?
I guess some potions of healing wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, if you're looking for just like regular, you can find an apothecary shop, sure. And if you're looking, did you like a regular potion of healing? 2d4 plus 2 is 100 gold. So you're more than welcome to pick those up if you'd like.
And they only have regular, right?
No, if you'd like greater, they have greater, but they are 500 each, which are 4d4 plus 4.
Pip.
Yeah, I'd get a bunch of regulars if I could.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
you know people, don't you?
I know a lot of people. I've been around. I've done some things.
Unsavory people?
As unsavory as they can get.
Perfect. Don't tell the others or anything, but you think you could get me a whole hand of some fairly deadly poison?
I do need to restock myself. Maybe someone in this town can help us out.
You know a guy.
Can I do another?
Oh no, you know Scabby Franklin. Scabby Franklin is the guy who's got the poisons. They call him Scabby Franklin because around his mouth and around his fingers are so scabby from handling such caustic liquids all the time. He also has a penchant for taste testing the poison. Stupid, I know, but that's his deal. So that's, Scabby Franklin, you can find him.
It'd be great if he's a paladin poison maker.
So he's immune to disease.
Yeah.
But yes, so you know that in the lower end district, in the one bar in the lower district, the oh boy, names. Yep, you know what? I can't have time to think about this. So the Inn of the Prancing Pony, because we're just start grabbing everything from pop culture. There is Scabby Franklin. If you want to go find him.
Yes. And I know a guy.
This is a very long, drawn-out guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll take him over because I need. Yeah, I'll head over there. I need some poison.
Okay. Yes, you are able to head over there. I mean, I don't know what the other guys are doing, but Pip can take Morthos over to see Scabby Franklin. What about Rurik and Ash? Yeah.
I mean, I can buy them food at the bar, so they don't need to worry about it.
That's
Rick probably just think like if we don't know about that guy,
Hungry. Y'all been traveling for.
like if he only had that conversation with Morthos. We're probably just thinking we're going to a bar for the night.
Okay,
And
that's true.
Rurik doesn't care.
What time is it?
It's like fine.
We'll say that it's early evening, like 4 o'clock.
No. If you tell her where the bar is, she'll meet you, but she wants to go to a butcher shop, and then she wants to go to buy some gems.
Okay.
So just find the worst part of town, and then you'll see a big prancing pony on top of a building, and then you'll know you're there.
Perfect.
Okay. Great. So, you guys are going to split off. So, Ash, for all intents and purposes, the butcher shop is easy enough to find. It's also in the cheaper district. No colorful butcher. Just a regular old butcher shop. What are you looking for at the butcher shop?
Just the good, big size hunk of meat.
Sure. Do you want like a cut of beef, or do you want like half a cow?
Have a cow.
Okay. The guy looks at you a little weird, as like this stick thin little, like flighty kind of elven-y looking woman walks in and asks for half a cow.
Mm-hmm.
So he will hand it to you. Like he'll like sort of like take the wrap of butcher paper and like go around it, right? And then like hand it to you, but it's still like, it's a big chunk of meat. And I mean, you're not the weakest, but you're not the strongest. So you've got this. Yeah. Sorry about hitting the mic, guys. You've got this hunk of meat.
How much is it?
He says he's so put off by the fact that you asked for half a cow. Let's see. Oh boy, time to make a judgment call. 2 gold.
Perfect. I hand him 3 for it.
And he's just like, he's even more put off. Like, man, it's like I never thought. He's just, you hear as you're walking out, he's just like, this town is weird.
Well, I can't hear him because you're cutting out.
That's okay. You don't hear what he says anyway, so it's fine. And you make your way out of the butcher shop with your half a cow.
Yep.
Okay. Then you're going to the gem store. Now, what do you do with this half a cow?
Well, how heavy is it?
It's heavy. I mean, you can carry it for a little while without...
Okay. Well, I'll carry it, and then if I have to stop, breather, carry it towards the shop. The next shop.
Okay. You're going to take the half a cow to the gem shop.
It's the way to half a cow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you taking the half a cow to the gem shop?
Yep.
Oh, boy.
What I will do is set the half a cow down.
Uh-huh.
And open the door.
Uh-huh.
To peek in. What I see.
You see this woman still, now she's on her side in the fetal position, rocking, as like other people are standing over her trying to like get through to her. And she's just like, dirt, so much dirt everywhere, dirt for days. And then they're like trying to like get her up. You notice there's like no customers. Everybody else that's there is also wearing like the white clothes, but they are not. They don't seem to be as OCD as she is.
Excuse me?
And they kind of like look up, and she doesn't. She just keeps rocking. And they're like, yes, what can we do for you?
I don't really want to come in because I have...
And they're like, no, stay there. Don't, no.
Yeah, no. Trust me. This shop looks lovely, and I don't want to bring this in. So, I was wondering if you have just some gems I could buy off of you.
Yes, of course. What did you need?
Just a bag full of the cheapest gems you have.
Okay, did you have $1? Sorry, everything's opening weird. Did you have a dollar amount you were looking for?
Like 100 gold worth.
Okay, yeah, they can give you 100 gold worth, no problem.
Perfect. So I give him 100
and then they give you the gems.
Thank you.
And they
And
say,
I
yes, of course. And they go back and they're still trying to figure out what to do with her.
Yep. So I take the hunk of cow.
You have a hunk of cow.
And I will go towards Evie.
Okay, you make your way out into the nearby area to find, like, the outside of the city to find EB.
Yep.
And you do so while Morthos, Rurik, and Pip make their way to the Inn of the Prancing Pony in the outskirts of Amphale. To jump, just to derail everything for a second, Jenna has a hat, or I think I pronounced that correctly, asked in the chat the most creative use of Phantasmal Force, or the best use I've seen, is if your DM allows you to let Phantasmal Force heal people, that's what I say is the best use of Phantasmal Force, because it's whatever they perceive as happening, they perceive as happening for real, and like if it's something damaging, it does psychic damage to them. But I, as a DM, have always thought if someone was clever enough to tell me that, like, the Phantasmal Force is somebody applying bandages and healing them, that instead of dealing psychic damage, it would essentially heal them. That's my best use of Phantasmal Force.
Like, that's really great. Like, I thought about that when I was reading the, like, damaging people thing. But, like, another thing with, like, Wizard's Illusion, like, if you do Illusion School, you can, like, make your illusions reality. And then, like, just for fun, you could make the floor lava and play a game where the floor is made of lava.
There's a lot of illusions are entirely limited to the creativity of the player and the willingness to allow bullshit by the dungeon master. But that's neither here nor there. To get back on track, Morthos, Rurik, and Pip, you make your way to the Inn of the Prancing Pony, where you are let inside, obviously, and you are seen to a table where Pip... Again?
Before this question, because you said everybody had to draw a card from the deck of many things.
Only if one is purchased for this shift.
Oh, okay.
Because
I wasn't sure.
Yes, there's one per... Yeah, basically there's the opportunity to allow people to get one per shift. So, like, per 3 hours. That's my way of driving up the ease to get more donations.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was something that everybody had to do, like, regardless. Or if it was, like, just, like, meta per person. Because if not, I was going to entice Gabby to pull a card.
Oh, I see. No, not yet. That could change. You never know. But you guys are set to a table. And you know the bartender here. You're able to order food for the group. And, you know, basically prep them that Ash will eventually be here as well, that there's more food coming. And you guys, Rurik and Morthos, this bar is seedy, man. Like, this is like the hole in the wall that the hole in the wall bar was named after, right? But the food comes out, and it's like a stew in a bread bowl, and it is so good. Like, this is the kind of thing that, like, only if you happen to be here or knew somebody who knew somebody, you would know that, like, this is the place. The food here, like, this is stick to your ribs, keep you warm for hours, like venison stew in a bread bowl, and it is phenomenal.
And I'll tip the waitress and the chef 20 gold. I always love coming here.
And you do that, and then you see off in his perpetually shadowed corner of this tavern is none other than Scabby Franklin.
I'll order him a drink and send it his way.
Okay, you do that. And then eventually, when you guys are done and fat and happy on your meal, you can make your way over there if you so choose.
Scabby, how have you been, my friend?
And he's like, I've been good. He's like...
Liking your drink?
He goes, yes, it's free. I like free.
Free is good.
Yes.
So this guy right here and I my buddy Morthos here. We're looking for some of your classic poisons. What you got?
And he goes, oh. And you see, like, his eyes, like, one of them is kind of, like, off to the side, and he's a little kooky, right? Like, potentially on top of tasting and touching these poisons, like, maybe there's been a little bit too much mercury around him. Like, the dude's a little, like, Mad as a Hatter definitely fits this guy. And he goes, oh, and he, like, pulls out a little box, and he puts it on the table, and he's, like, putting out tiny little... I'm frozen on the chat. That's fine. Fix that in a second. And he starts, like, putting out tiny little vials on the table, right? Sorry, I'm just updating appear in again. Let's fix that. Oh, now it's just not working at all. Wonderful. Alright, well, we'll have to fix that. But anyway, he puts out all of these little vials on the table, and he says, what kind of poison are you looking for? Just like...
The best kind.
And he goes, oh, well, they're all the best.
True. What hurts people the most?
And he says, well... He goes, probably the most expensive I got. He says, oh, don't ask me how I got it. Because I'm not going to tell you. So don't ask. But I got purple worm poison.
Oh,
Because
I haven't seen some of that in many years.
He goes, that is probably the best.
What would we be looking at for some of that?
He goes,
How much of that do you got?
He goes, I got a couple, but it's 2,000 gold per use.
Per use?
Per use.
Where are you staying at nowadays?
He goes, I get by.
How would you like a permanent place where you could craft to your wildest dream?
He goes, I might be down for that.
And all it would cost would be, like an interest rate of poison.
He goes, I'm listening.
I got a place. I just made a deal with another guy. He's very quiet. You probably won't be in your way. I think you two would like each other. And you can stay there free of charge as long as you just supply us with poison.
He goes, alright, but like, what kind of poison?
Obviously, like, we're not gonna get the purple worm poison for free, so I'm giving you the place, and I'll pay you a reduced caution for the purple worm poison, because a place is hard to come by, and you can stay there for free. Remember that.
He goes, alright, well, he says, I could get you something less than that. He says, I could maybe do you some drow poison. If that's more, I could do that. That's for as a part of your, or interest rate, this rental cost. Yeah. What do you think?
I'm thinking that's pretty alright. What about you, Morthos? Or do you have something you can offer him that could perhaps sweeten the deal?
He's got basically everything you can want. And he wants to know, basically, are you looking for inhaled, ingested? What kind of poisons are you looking for?
Ingested poisons are fun. Yeah, I would like some ingested and some contact poisons, I guess. The injury poisons.
Okay. What about you, Morthos?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll take 2 vials of the worm poison.
Oh, shit. Alright, that's 4K. I mean, you do have all that gold. So, purple worm poison. It can be applied to a weapon, and when someone is stabbed with that weapon, They have to make a DC 19 Constitution saving throw, or take 12d6 poison damage, or half as much on a success.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll take one vial, but I wasn't wanting to like the whole cost of it. That's why I was offering it.
Yeah, he will. Well, Morthos just outright buys him because he's like filthy rich after the deck of many things.
Like, I don't know how filthy rich he is, but apparently he's pretty filthy rich.
Yeah. So the drow poison that he's going to supply you with, as far as rent goes, the way that works, which he'll give you one now as sort of like his security deposit, right? That is, it's a DC 13 Constitution saving throw, or become poisoned for an hour. If they fail the save by 5 or more, they fall unconscious. And that is an injury-based poison. So that is basically, the way they work is contact, they just have to touch it. Ingested, they have to swallow it. Inhaled, they have to breathe it in. And injury, they need to be like, it needs to be applied to a weapon, and then they need to stab people with it.
That's on the Roll20 like itemized list that I can just drag and drop.
It might be. You'd have to check the compendium. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yes.
It has a list, but it doesn't have a drag and drop.
Okay, so the list is there. As far as did you want to? You said you wanted to look at ingested poisons, or no?
Yeah, like the ingested and the injury poisons, basically.
Okay, so his cheapest poison that he has 2 ingested poisons. One is Assassin's Blood, which does very minimal damage. The other one is Truth Serum, which is exactly what it sounds like. That's the lowest end stuff that he has for ingested.
I guess I'll take Assassin's Blood because it fits the theme.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see what I can get on the reduced cost for the purple worm poison.
Okay. So the Assassin's Blood is 150 gold per use. He'll give it to you at 75 gold each.
Let me remove 75.
And he will give you a thing of purple worm he'll give you it for 1500 if you want.
Okay.
So that's a 500 gold discount.
3, 4. That's 4905.
And then he kind of, did you want anything else?
I don't know. And you know what, Scabby? The rest of the drinks are on me tonight, and I'll tell the bartender.
And then he goes, that's my favorite kind of drink. Free! So, you guys are able to get your poison. Yeah. If there's anything else that you want, poison-wise, you can either purchase it from him if you so choose. If not, we can speed things up and say that Ash has finished her basically getting EB the gemstone half a cow. And you guys are able to meet up at the tavern, eat and drink to your however much you would like. Some of you have ridiculous amounts of poison. And then you guys are able to stay either there or wherever you'd like. And then you guys are ready to head to sleep and get up the next day.
And then I'll find the poison. That's right.
Yeah. So,
when Evie gets to the bar tavern,
yes.
I offer, do you want to find a better place? This place is a shithole, even for living outdoors.
It is, yeah. It's got good food and there's an interesting clientele, but as far as staying here, yeah, it is pretty shitty. You could find more upscale accommodations.
Yeah, did you say Evie or did you mean Ash?
Ash, sorry.
Hey, while we're here, can I try to lift some coins off of people before we leave?
You could definitely try. This place is not exactly full of the richest folks, so you may not find as much, but you definitely can try if you want.
Okay.
Make me a sleight of hand check. Yeah, you are able to kind of make your way around and try to pilfer coins off of various people. You are able to find 3 gold pieces and 15 silver pieces. These people here are not that rich.
Yeah, I would respond.
You said 15 silver?
Say again?
You said 15 silver?
Yes.
Okay.
And what were you saying, Light?
I said I would respond and be yeah. Let's find another area.
Okay. You guys are able to make your way to another tavern. You're gonna go for like super upscale, or are you gonna go for like the middle of the road situation?
Probably middle of the road. Because if you're going upscale, they're gonna have heart attack because of the dirt or something.
I mean, it's entirely possible. We've seen what has happened already. So you guys are able to make your way towards like the middle of the road district, and you are able to find an inn that is called the Head On Inn, and you are able to procure rooms at a relatively decent price of 1 gold piece per night. This is more upscale. You do still get some weird looks, not as bad as the jewelry shop weird looks. But yeah, you guys are able to procure rooms at a gold piece each to stay the night.
And I'm going to be annoying, and yeah, this isn't even good enough. I'm going higher. I'll meet you back here in the morning.
Alright, so he goes elsewhere, I guess. Let's see where you go more upscale for the outdoorsy ranger type. Let's see. What do we have as for...
You just want to smear dirt everywhere.
You think? I'm starting to get a feeling that I'm learning a little bit about this character. So you're able to head to the Golden Lady. This is the inn, one of the inns in the highest, most expensive part of the town. And as you walk in, your immediate the harp music stops as you walk in, and there is like just a look of just like distaste as you walk in.
Perfect.
And you like approach, and there is like a very snooty, stereotypical like butler type guy behind the counter, and he's like, "Yes, what can I do for?" And he kind of like looks you up and down. You.
A room, please.
Because I assure you can afford it.
I will dump 200 gold on the desk.
And his snooty demeanor immediately breaks to that. Like he was thinking, like, oh, I was gonna upcharge this guy like 10 gold for a room, and he just dropped 200 on the table, and he's like, what? And he's torn, right? Because he's trying to maintain his snootiness about how you look like shit, but you just like dropped probably more gold than he's seen in one place for a room stay in a while. And he's like, and it's just like you can see like the steam like coming out of his ears as the gears are turning, trying to figure out how he deals with this scenario. And he's like, huh? Did you say we're gonna...
every second that he delays, I'm taking 2 gold away.
And he's like, and he goes to like touch your hand and then like recoils because of, the hands of a working man. Yeah. And he says, no, sir, this is sufficient. We can provide you with any room that you like, sir. I'm so sorry for my previous countenance. sir. And like as each time he says sir, it seems like it causes him physical pain.
Perfect. Now, how much was the room that you were going to charge me?
He goes, 10 gold, sir. I mean, 5 gold, sir. It would have been 5 gold.
Perfect. I scoop up all the gold,
Yep.
pull back out 20 gold,
Yep.
and then leave another pile of 5 gold for him.
Okay. And he's like, well, thank you, sir. Is there anything I can get for you?
You'll probably find that there's going to be an owl flying about. Make sure he's fed.
And it, like again goes white, like his face goes white, his eyes go wide. He's like, but then he looks down at the gold on the table and he's like, of course, sir. I must ask you, what do owls eat?
If you're not careful, you.
And then again, he's just like taken aback again. He's like,
It's fine though.
but
Don't just leave
half cheap.
some meat out there for him. He'll find it.
all right, sir. Of course. You can just ring the bell if you need anything. And he says, it goes, I will show you to your room personally. And he says, do you have any things I can carry for you, sir?
Having the boss around his back and the only baggage he has,
Yeah.
nah, I'm good.
And he will lead you up the stairs, down the hall to the room at the end of the hall, which has got the clearly more ornate door. And he opens it, and this is like a beautiful suite. Right? And he says, here you are, sir. I shall leave some meat outside for the owl.
Well done. And just close the doors in his face.
And then the door shuts, and then he leaves. And the rest of you guys are left at the other inn. It's just Ben's, where you again everybody can spend the night and sleep as they so fit, and then we'll wake up the next day. So you guys were going to continue out on the road towards Longsaddle in the morning, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, so you do that. Do you have a means of transport, Pip, horse or otherwise? It's reasonable to assume that you would in a town where horses are bred.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not unreasonable. Like that, most of you guys who are level 12 plus adventurers, it's assumed that you would have some form of transport, right? I mean, you're not going to be doing this all on foot. So you guys head out in the morning. Rurik trundling along on Barry. Pip on a horse of his choosing. Ash flying on EB, and Morthos flying on his owl. And then you guys can head out towards Longsaddle. I will say, because I'm trying to be more mindful of the time this go around, as we are coming up to 15 minutes left, 50 on this session. We will say that you guys, we'll say you guys fast forward. Essentially, no combat or anything ensues. You make your way to the town of Red Larch, which is another town here, and you guys in this town, it is seemingly it's been 5 years since the last event. So here in Red Larch, the town, which was not a major town, but a known town, right? Like people knew of it. It's not a huge town, but people knew about it. So you guys find that this town has it's basically in rebuilding, right? Town is being rebuilt, seemingly destroyed. There is ruins of essentially what was the old town. And there is a smattering of things being rebuilt here in this town. There are some inns. There are like one tavern. There is the construction of a new like all faith church. There is some broken, like there was quarries that are pretty much destroyed. There was like seemingly what looked like it may have been some sort of storage facility that had been destroyed and is in the process of being rebuilt. And then a shining star, if you will, in this place that is completely untouched. Or if it was rebuilt perfectly, is a building with a big sign out front that is lit up with permanent fairy fire that says Gold and Silver Pawn Shop.
Huh.
Definitely going in there.
Yeah. I'll follow.
Rurik's probably just gonna stay outside.
That sounds like Rurik's thing.
Maybe will keep
He
you
feels
company.
like we're not going fast enough, and these people are like slowing him down. He
Uh,
wants to get to Longsaddle.
He really does. I'm trying, Jel, but there's too many good things that happen on the way. So, you guys make your way into Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. A bell rings as you enter. And you see just glass cases with a ton of items. You're assaulted by the variety of things. You see on the wall, the back, the stuffed and preserved head of a green dragon and a white dragon. The green dragon is smaller. The white dragon is significantly larger. And you see the proprietor in a blue kind of long sleeve shirt with his sleeves rolled up. He's got a brown kind of like leather jerkin type vest. He has brown hair about shoulder length. He is missing an eye. He has an eye patch over one eye. And you see behind him on the counter, you see a sword that's just seemingly caked in dust, hasn't been used. An ebony and ivory colored mandolin. And he just kind of looks to you and says, well, gentlemen, welcome to Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. My name is Rick. What can I do you for?
Well, first of all, I'm not a gentleman, but hello.
Oh, I forgot that you came in. So I remember that Evie was staying outside.
Yeah.
So gentleman and lady. What can I do you for?
What interesting things do you have?
He says, everything has a story. You never know what's going to walk in that door. So, everything I have is interesting. I deal in only interesting goods. And you see everything in all of these things that's, you see books, you see jewelry, you see gemstones, you see art pieces, you see there's occasional swords and daggers, there's things that just look stupid, like straps of leather and whatever else.
I'm gonna take off my cloak and set it down on the counter. About this interesting.
Oh, and he goes, something like that. Oh, that's easy. He says, but tells me, he says, you got something you're looking for. Tell me what you're looking for, and maybe I've got something that'll do it.
If no one else pops up.
Morthos. Are you looking for anything?
Were you looking for anything? Morthos.
Silvered arrows? You got any?
He goes, Ha! He chuckles to himself, and he goes, I've got this. And he pulls out a quiver with silver arrows, and he says, yeah, I got a quiver of silver arrows for you. And he goes, but I tell you what, this one has a story to it. He says, this quiver here, and he says, watch this. And he pulls an arrow out, right, of the quiver, and he throws it. And it sticks into the wall in the back of the store, like towards the front door. And he says, just wait. And you wait like 12 seconds goes by, and then the arrow appears back in the quiver.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And he
Put that
goes,
aside.
all right, he
Put that aside.
puts that off to the side.
And now come with me.
Uh,
If he will, I want to walk him out the shop.
Yeah, he'll walk with you. He doesn't seem worried at all.
Kill.
Do I see anybody else in the shop?
You don't.
Or any detection thing?
You not that you see.
Okay, if he walks out of the shop, meanwhile,
Yes.
Rurik took out his foldable lectern.
Okay. Yes. I forgot you have so much goofy shit.
Yep. Hey, that's how I started Civil War.
Yes, that's true. You did do that.
And we're kind of in the plaza, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, then he's gonna make a speech about gourds and how evil they are, because he knows, it's something the public knows about.
Yes.
So he's gonna make a speech. Well, he's gonna be in the middle of the speech when they're coming out.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm gonna use my divine intervention.
Oh Jesus Christ! All right.
To
Yep.
try and summon Talos.
Oh my God.
So that my words resound with lightning.
I mean, I would say you could just use the thaumaturgy cantrip to make your voice 3 times as loud, but sure.
My lectern already does that.
Oh, your lectern does that already. I forgot.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make me a percentile roll. If you roll under a 13, it happens.
Well, this is gonna blow up in his face.
Maybe. No. Okay. So nothing happens. You attempt to channel Talos. It does not happen. You can try again after a long rest.
Yeah.
But you guys come out, Rick and Morthos. You come out of the shop, and you hear in the middle of this booming voice speech about the evil of gourds, basically. And he comes out with you, and he looks to you, and Morthos, he says, "So what do you want to show me?"
See the owl?
He goes, "Yeah."
Silvered claws.
And he goes, all right. He scratches his chin for a little bit, and he says, yeah, let me see what I got. And he kind of will lead you back into the shop. So while this is happening outside...
While they're gone, I would like to, just double check there's no cameras or anybody else in the shop.
You don't see any cameras because there aren't cameras, but...
Detection devices.
I'm just looking around the shop.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm ignoring him.
You don't think... I mean, dude, would you like to make an Arcana check to see if you notice any detection devices? Or are you just gonna see what you can see with your eyes and go from there?
Well, see, I got this dank 21 passive perception.
True.
I guess I will try to Arcana check with 0 and see if I notice any magic.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you would have to because you don't see any people with your 21 passive perception, but that doesn't mean that you won't see anything magically.
Yeah.
Also, you're not like the most with a 15. There's a general aura of magic in the shop. It's hard to tell because 90% of the things in here seem to be magical. It's hard to tell.
I'm gonna pick something up off the shelf.
Okay.
not to pick it up and see if anything happens. And I'll do that to random stuff around the shop.
Yeah, you move around picking up various things off the shelves. Doesn't seem to set off any alarms or anything.
And I'll do that when I hold something out the door.
Okay, well, I mean, he's right outside the door, just so you're aware. Because they just walked outside the shop and the owl's there. So,
Okay.
you, Morthos, as he says, like, yeah, let's go back inside. He kind of looks to you and he says, you got to watch that little elf friend of yours. I don't know what the hell he's up to, but I'd watch him. Trying to walk around, picking up shit all over the shop. That's just not kosher, man. You just gotta, like, who does he think he is? He comes into my shop, he starts taking stuff off the shelves, touching everything. That's not cool. And, like, the door is shut and he can't seemingly see inside. And you can't see him either. It's just you're outside and he just says that to you.
I'll have a word to him.
And then you guys walk back into the shop. And he will go back behind the counter, right? And he will pick up a couple of silver daggers off from behind the counter, and he'll put them on the table in front of him. And he will start casting a spell, and you will watch in about 30 seconds as those daggers separate from their hilts, melt into liquid silver, and then reform into basically claw caps. Does that make sense?
That's
That
interesting.
is neat.
He goes, I pride myself on my work.
We got some nice stuff in here.
He goes, I would hope so. It's my livelihood.
Oh, and the nice gentleman said, stop stealing his shit, or stop attempting to steal his shit.
I'm picking them up and looking at them.
You get the feeling that he's quite insightful, this gentleman. Even through walls. Like perhaps he was in your position at one point in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just grown on to the next biggest thing. But it's eerie, but there's no air of threat to his voice or his countenance. Like he's not worried. Like what are you gonna do? Kind of a situation. Like he's not really upset or figuring that anything bad's gonna happen. So he looks around again and he asks if there's anything else you guys would be interested in or looking for.
Do you have a second one of those quivers?
He does not have a second one of those quivers, unfortunately.
Do you have anything else like that?
That makes magic arrows. He goes, I got a quiver that makes unlimited arrows, but they're not silver.
I'd be very interested in that.
He'll
Unlimited arrows are quite fun.
He puts another one on the table, and the one that you have, that he showed you, Morthos, has silver fletches and like silver filigree on the quiver. This one just looks like a regular quiver, but it's the same situation. They're just not silver arrows.
Rurik, Ash, you getting anything?
Rurik is still outside pontificating. You can hear him slightly through the wall because his voice is amplified 3 times.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
And the gourds will come down and try and smite all of you with their evil. The cabbages will rot. And you just like hear like, you know. So.
Fair enough. Ash, anything for a nice lady?
I'm looking for. Do you have any bracers for archery?
Oh, and he'll be like, pfft. Like he like pulls open a drawer and there's like a bunch of them and he's like, here you go. Puts them on the counter. Like that's like his like that kind of thing is like fairly meaningless to him. Like he's got a ton of stuff, right? So puts those on the counter and like
How about like a amulet for health?
and he like will go and he'll like open like an armoire and you see like a ton of amulets hanging from there. And he'll kind of like flip through all the chains. And he'll say he's only got one of those in stock, but you know, you're starting to rack up quite a bill of stuff here on the table.
Do you have anything that helps people not get hit as much?
He will, let's see. He will kind of, like, what seemingly is just a flat wall. He'll push a button, and, like, the wall will, and it's just cloaks. And he will take off just a nice, like, a light blue cloak. And, he says, this is a cloak of protection. The best I got right now. And he just drops it on the counter.
Round up the cost so far.
All right, 2 quivers, bracers of archery, amulet of health. So let's see. And then we've got the cloak of protection. So all told, we're probably looking at like 7K for everything at the moment. That sounds about right.
7K and
Oh, and the claws, he's fine. He's fine with that.
7K and mute. We'll give you an apology. How about that?
He goes, all right, that works. Let's hear it.
I kick Pit. Apology.
Sorry for the intent to pilfer your livelihood. So.
And he goes, oh, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting to get that. And he goes, but just got to be mindful around folks that have been around for a while. And he will, like, lift up his eye patch. And what you would imagine would be just like a socket with like an empty socket. There is sort of like a void, but it is like a swirling void of different colors that sort of forms the shape of an eyeball. But it's like a mixture of blue and purple and red energy that sort of is just like constantly swirling, and he just puts the eye patch back down.
Some magic bullshit.
Yes, definitely magic.
I shove whatever Pip wanted onto his chest and goes, get out. Let's go.
All right, so you guys are able to exit. Pip, you got a +1 cloak of protection, so it's a +1 to your AC, +1 to all your saves. Light, you got an amulet of health that's set your AC or your con at 19.
Nice.
And bracers of archery, so +2 damage to your bow attacks. Morthos, you have silvered claw tips for your eagle, which you're able to pretty much just kind of form fit on. They seem like they'll stay. And unlimited silver arrows in your quiver. And Pip, you have unlimited arrows.
I was asking for the unlimited arrow, the unlimited quiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have one.
Yeah.
You have an unlimited. It's just regular arrows, but you have that.
Yeah.
Yep. You got it.
It's right to assume it's all the same stats. It's just silvered now.
Correct.
Kill.
And no matter how many you shoot, there always seems to be 20 arrows in the quiver.
Cool.
All right, so you guys have all that. Rurik, you end your speech.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Good.
I end my speech by raising my hammer to the sky, and I say, "If I'm telling the truth, then Talos may strike me down." And I activate my iron belt.
Okay.
And cast Call Lightning on myself.
You watch as he reaches up and a storm cloud forms from seemingly nowhere, and a lightning bolt crackles down through his hammer into him, and he gets struck by a bolt of lightning. So real quick, that'll be, I think I might even have it set up to go. You will take.
No, I activate my iron belt. So
Right.
Damage.
You have resistance, so you have half damage.
Okay, half. So
half of 17 is 9. 9 points of lightning damage you take. For your, very martyr-esque, to get your point across, you just inflicted damage upon yourself.
Yep.
Self-flagellation via lightning. You guys watch this happen. And so does everybody in the town.
I'm gonna lean over to Ash. He's a healer, yes?
Yes, yes.
Great.
Yeah, something happened to him 5 years ago, and seems that he is not all there anymore.
A good word to describe him.
Rurik just folds up his lectern, looks to the group, and like, let's be on our way. And starts walking out.
All right. So you guys all witnessed that. You equipped yourselves a little bit more, and you head out. So as you guys make your way out of, well, let's see. We've got you make your way out of Red Larch, north. We're gonna fast forward you guys past Westbridge, past Tribor, which is also another town. It seems like a lot of these towns have been through the shit. This town is being rebuilt from a giant attack, but they seem like they're doing all right. So you guys now find yourselves about a day's travel outside, actually half a day's travel outside of Longsaddle, right? So things are starting to get
Outside of what?
outside of Longsaddle. So the tension and the hackles on your neck, Rurik, are standing up as you feel like you're finally getting to where you said you were going to go, right?
The gourds are close.
Yes, your gourd sense is tingling. And as you get closer to Longsaddle, you remember that Red Larch, the town of Red Larch, was originally called Red Larch because of the red larch trees in the area that was chopped down to make room for the town. And your ring imparts that to you, and you're like, fuck, what does that have to do with anything? So, now you know that.
That's good.
Yeah, right? So, you are about a half a day's ride out, and you notice that the foliage near here has taken on a viney countenance. It is thorn vines, and the woods here are slightly deeper and darker as you approach the wrought iron gate, the exit of the town, or the entrance of the town. Is there anything specific I need to know about what you guys are doing?
I think we're going to attempt to go in the gate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rurik is like as much on high alert as he can be.
Okay. So, as you guys approach, you the wrought iron gates swing open. You see an ivy mansion up on the hill. You see a pretty much darkened town, and you see there are smashed cabbages in the streets. There are you hear the occasional like swinging of the wind pushing a sign back and forth, or the rustling. A tumbleweed rolls down across the street in front of you, and all seems quiet.
Seems like home. Is this your user doing? Your pumpkin thing?
Yes. Guess I'm gonna do an investigation check. See if
Okay.
we can see something, or look around.
Sure, make me an investigation check.
Can I just check the general area for danger?
Sure. You can make me a perception check. Okay. So with your investigation check, obviously you draw some conclusions by the squashed cabbages, right? perhaps there is. You don't know. These seem to be relatively fresh, as in they haven't rotted away. So you're not sure how recent these cabbage squashes are, but you do know that there was a civil war incited here once by your own doing. So you look around and you can see there are several footprints that it suggests that they haven't been washed away or, brushed away with wind or washed away with water. So someone has been here, at least somewhat recently. Your general perception check, Pip, as you survey the area, it looks as though you don't see any immediate danger, though you do get the general feeling of unease that there's no animals, right? There's no like sounds of crickets or birds or anything. It just is. It's all eerily quiet here. And
Do I see any people, trees, or nothing?
You don't see any people here, but you do see an orange glow coming from one of the windows atop the hill at the Ivy Mansion.
Something's not right here.
The chainsaw guy comes running out from behind one of the buildings. I'm like debating making that actually happen because it would be too funny. You know what? Yep. Because I decided that was too perfectly timed. You see someone with a burlap sack on their head, with up above their head is this spinning contraption, roiling smoke and steam, the likes of which you have never seen before. Some sort of clockwork gnomish invention comes running towards you with this device whirling and spinning over their head. I'm going to need everybody to roll for initiative.
Roll initiative?
Yep. If you just click on your token when you roll, it will add you into the initiative order.
Whoopsie-doozles. Now I have to zoom out and find the token.
It's just up at the top. Morthos got a 19.
Maybe I probably don't have one on there. Let me Jack and drop.
Oh yeah, did I not? You know what? I didn't have one because I didn't have something for you. My bad.
Yeah, I'll fix that because I'll be back later.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Alright, and then I gotta roll for this guy. This is gonna be fun, coming up with a freaking guy like this.
Because I'm pretty sure I wasn't surprised by it.
No one was surprised by the chainsaw. As he comes running out from behind the thing here. So let's go ahead and put him in. Let's see. Where is he? He's got a... Now we'll set this up. So first in the initiative order is Morthos. You see this guy, burlap sack over his head, running full steam at you with this thing above his head. This whirling does not seem like a benevolent device, let's say.
How far away was he, sorry?
He was about 30 feet away when he started coming toward you from behind one of the houses, so we'll say he's about 15 feet away now.
Okay, I'm gonna go up in the air.
Okay, you take off.
Yep, and I'm gonna shoot an arrow at him.
Okay, make me an attack roll, please. Yeah, a 23 will definitely hit this guy. For 12 damage. Okay, and when it hits him, make me a perception check. You hear clang as the arrow impales into his chest. Would you like to do anything else?
I'm gonna. The chainsaw looks a little bit too deadly, and the giant owl's not going to attack.
Okay.
It's going to fly up in the air.
Okay. Got
That's
it.
about it.
So that ends it for your turn. Oops. Then it is Pip.
Alright. Well, he's 15 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
What was the...
There it is again.
just so I'm getting messages.
That's okay. It works out well timing as he approaches closer.
Yeah, he's... I mean, can I wait till he gets closer and then I want to, like, stab the shit out of him with my, sword of wounding?
Okay, you can ready an action for when he gets closer.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
I will ready an action.
Perfect.
He's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt.
All right, Ash, you're up.
Yeah. Evie and I are gonna take to the air.
Okay,
And,
easy enough.
Then she gets her breath weapon back because there's a
Yeah, enough time has passed. She's got it back. Yep.
So yeah, she's going to use her breath weapon on it.
Okay, and because he's far enough away, you don't run the risk of actually hitting anybody else. So go ahead and what does she got to make? It's a DC. Just click it so I can see what the save is supposed to be. 14.
I mean, you can try to hit me because the deck saves, right?
Yeah, but he's far. You didn't go in close, so it's far enough away that it's not an issue. So he's got to make a DC 14. He makes a 13 plus 2. So he makes the save, but he's still going to take half damage. So go ahead and roll me 12d6. $45. Damn, dude. That's some serious damage. So he's going to take half of that. Alright, so he kind of gets like... And you see shreds start to appear in the burlap sack.
Do I see?
You can make me a perception check. It's still hard to see what's under there.
Nothing. Damn.
Wow, dual ones.
Yeah. I got, dual 20. So.
You try and look at the face, but you're too drawn in by the chainsaw.
Oh, okay, the chainsaw.
It's too... It's just...
Too weird.
Yeah, it's too foreign and looks too off, right?
Okay. So then I want to hit
Shoot
it.
him.
Yeah, I'm going to use my oath bow. I'm going to make him my enemy.
Mhm.
And I am going to infuse it with fire.
Okay.
So that's 34 hit.
No. It misses totally. He doesn't know anything. He's like, he catches it with the chainsaw and cuts the arrow down. No, it hits.
Okay.
So he's gonna take 10, and 3 is 13, plus 3d6 from the oath bow.
Read it.
Yeah. So
What?
did you not? You didn't roll that, did you?
There we go.
Okay, cool. 7. Got it. Okay. Second attack?
Oh yeah, and did you get the fire too?
I did the 3 fire, correct.
So he is currently on fire.
Yes, he is. And the burlap sack catches fire.
26.
That'll hit. For 12.
Mhm.
And then
And then I
the
roll
oath bow
again.
still applies, yep. Each hit.
10.
For another, what's that, 22. As he comes running in. Oh my god, it's too perfect. So he comes running in still, but it's Rurik's turn first. Rurik, actually, what's your dex, Rurik?
Let me check. My dex is 10, so I don't have any bonuses.
So he's actually going to be a little bit quicker than you on the draw. So he's going to come running in. Morthos, you took off, right? Into this guy?
Yeah.
So the seemingly only person on the ground in front of him is Pip. So he's gonna run at you, Pip. When he gets into melee range, you can make your attack that you wanted to against him.
So wait, everybody went into the air.
Except
one
for-
of them for my advantage.
Well, Rurik did not, but Rurik hasn't gotten to go yet.
Oh no, but he's standing near me, so it's fine.
Yeah. So go. He
Okay.
runs into you. Go ahead and make an attack if you wish. Okay.
Was,
You
28 hit.
a 20 hits. Yes. So you're good. You can go ahead and hit this guy.
Okay, and then I'm going to roll my sneak attack.
Go ahead and do that. Yep.
Has he actually taken his action and turn yet, or no?
He moved in to attack, but he had not done yet. Because you readied an action. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to think if assassinate would apply or not.
It would apply for the advantage. It would not apply for the auto crit because he was not surprised.
Okay. Yeah. That's right.
Yep. All right, 23 points. You, again, as you are... Go ahead, what were you going to say?
Yeah. Well, I think I need the sword. The sword's damage itself apparently didn't roll.
Oh, you're right, it didn't. So just click on the Sword of Wounding wording, and it should roll it. Where it says... Yeah, there you go. So, got it. 12 and a d4, 15. Got it. Okay, so you, as you stab in with your rapier into this guy, you also hear, like, the rapier sort of... You feel a little bit of resistance as the blade sort of bends a little bit, but it then eventually does pierce through, but you hear a clang as if hitting something made of metal. And you do manage to do a sizable amount of damage to this guy. And he seems, again, and now you can see as the flames are starting, the rips and the flames, you can see what appears to be some sort of metal thing underneath the face of this burlap sack. But you can't, and you see a glowing red underneath it. And now it is his turn. So he is going to bring the chainsaw above his head down to bear upon you. So he's going to make an attack roll.
Question with my... okay, never mind.
What are you going to say?
I was gonna see if I could bonus action dodge that with my cunning action, but you rolled a 6. So.
And you actually, because you held an action, you only hold your action, so you can't bonus action on this. So what was your AC with your new cloak as well?
18 with the cloak.
Okay, so that's fine. So he does miss with that, and then the second one he is gonna hit. So he's going to bring down the chainsaw, and you see as it gets closer the whirling tiny blades as it begins to carve into your torso. And you see like the blood, like you guys all see this from up above, and Rurik, you're right there. You see as this is happening. Okay, so it is going to deal some damage to you. Let's see. It's gonna deal plus what? Let's see here.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna take 21 points of slashing damage as this thing comes down and carves into you.
No uncanny dodge that down?
Yep, you can definitely do that. So you'll take 11 points instead of 21. And then he's going to make a third attack because he can do that.
Oh, fair.
That will hit as a 19. So he's going to...
Oh. He's got a lot to hit.
Yes, he does. Actually, wait. Before he does that, because I didn't read his ability. So first, because would make the most sense. So I'm gonna need you to make me an athletics check.
Athletics?
Yes.
Substitute acrobatics?
No, you cannot. Because this is a shove.
Okay.
So he is going to, before he attacks you, because I reread the thing. He shoves you to the ground with the butt of the chainsaw. Again, you hear that clang, and then he's going to attack you on the ground with advantage with the chainsaw.
Seems about right.
So he's still going to hit, which is no different than before. So you are going to take 16 points of slashing damage. This you cannot uncanny dodge. As he kind of like sticks the chainsaw into that same shoulder wound and just revs it up, and it starts shredding the sinew and the bone in your shoulder. Rurik, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna move away
Yeah.
as much as I can and cast Flame Strike.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So it's like in between me and the guy with the chainsaw, so it doesn't hit Pip.
Got it. All right, so go ahead and roll the damage, and then I got to make a dex save.
Yeah.
Well, like, I can...
You're prone, by the way, so you'd have disadvantage if he didn't place it separately.
Huh?
So you bring down... So you guys are sitting there. You guys are up in the air watching. And he actually does manage to surprisingly dodge it, which is shocking. So 27 and half is 14. You guys watch as the darkness and chillness of the evening of this place is just dispelled as a 40-foot high column of fire and light just rains down on this guy. Just swirling around in almost like a fire tornado. Just like swirling around this guy. Pip, it is like 2.5 feet from your face. So it is hot, but it doesn't cause you any physical damage, but you are like, it's like right there as it's swirling around this guy. At which point you watch as this guy falls to the ground and is laying limp on the ground. The semblance of the tattered leather clothes and the hood burnt away.
Ow.
What would you guys like to do?
Is he dead?
Seems to be.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll just kick him off the...
Oh, he's not on you. He's next to you on the ground.
Okay, yeah.
So, flying folks and everybody.
I realized we forgot to... we mentioned it, but we forgot to actually buy the healing potions.
That's right. That is true.
I'm gonna walk up to Pip and use Mass Cure Wounds on him.
Okay, that will actually heal everybody as well.
Yeah, but no one else got.
That's right.
So...
No one else got damaged. You could just cure
Actually,
wounds
it's gonna heal me too.
Okay.
That's good.
Yep.
It's 3d8 plus spellcasting.
Correct.
What was the second hit he did? He did 16.
Yeah.
So everyone is healed for 22.
Correct. And let's see who's in the next section here, because I have to figure out how this is going to work, right? Since Ash and Morthos are flying, right, and they are not in the next section of the game, I have to find a way for you guys to leave. So
Well, I go ahead. You go first.
Who?
You.
Benzyme.
I'm going to Neverwinter to go buy a ship.
Okay, that's fine. I have a theory. So, Light, what were you going to tell me about you?
I was gonna say before he goes, I actually toss him the glasses.
Oh shit! You have a third set of glasses now, Morthos. Now you gotta come up with another set to wear.
Yeah.
So as you guys are trying to descend to get a closer look at what happened and see what happened to your comrades, an arcane wall, a dome, appears above the city, shielding it off, blocking you two from coming in. It is a bluish globe of energy that blocks them off.
Wow.
Now, Rurik, as you've moved up to look at Pip and the thing next to him, you see a metal skeleton with glowing red eyes that are slowly dimming, holding this chainsaw, which can only be described as like a T-800 Terminator robot.
I actually was going to take the chainsaw, so I want to do that as I get up.
As you are getting up, Pip and Rurik, as you are coming in close to them, you see that the lights, in a typical Terminator fashion, the lights reanimate in the eyes, and it wasn't really dead, right? So it's going to grab both of you by the shoulders as it stands up, and it holds you there, and it pulls you in close, and it whispers from its non-existent voice box to you. First of all, to you, let's see, when do you... I'm just seeing when people come back so I can get an idea of how long I have to dispel people, right?
I'll be back in 3 hours.
Actually, I have an idea.
Okay, what do you got?
If he grabs me, I could push Pip away and cast plane shift.
Okay.
I'm gonna plane shift away.
That's fine. You
okay with this.
you push him away and you plane shift, and what he says to you as you're shifting away is, it says, "Not is all as it seems." You're gone.
Must be the gourds.
Pip, yeah, you don't have any shits about what could be doing this. You just get the fuck out. And Pip, it grabs you as he's pushing you. He pushes you away, and it kind of like falls back, but it reaches out and it grabs onto your leg with its like spindly robot hands, and you are also teleported away from, and the vision goes dark, and you get the feeling from as this is happening, as you're watching this happen, and you guys again are watching this happen from up above. It doesn't appear that it was doing the teleporting, more as though it was a conduit, the magic coming from somewhere else, and this being used to basically deliver this magic.
Does he teleport with me?
No, he doesn't, and he falls. As he said, it's like a reddish energy, the teleport, and it like comes from his eyes down his hand into your body, and then the skeleton goes limp, and you are teleported away into blackness, and I will tell you where you appear when you come back in 3 hours.
Wonderful.
So, thank you guys for playing for this. Jal, I'm sorry, I know you wanted to get to Longsaddle so bad.
Yep.
To only have it get bogged down with shopping trips and dealing with people in shops. So as we are coming up to the end of this session, we are going to, as always, take a break and get the new people in. Jal, you will need to level yourself up to level 15 for when you come back. Hypertroller, you will have to level yourself up to level 14 for when you come back. And Benzyme, you will be level 15 when you come back.
Yep.
And the lovely Light Nevaeh will be leaving us, graced us with her presence for the first 6 hours, and she shall be going off to sleep because she only slept 3 hours last night because she's crazy. But
that's normal.
That being said, let's go down the line. We kind of did this already, but just one more time, real quick. Light, you said you were planning to start streaming soon, and people can find you on the internets and stuff.
Yeah, you can find me under the same handle, Light Nevaeh, on Twitter and Twitch. Just keep an eye on Twitter. I will post when I will start streaming, and it's been fun. Last year I did the 24-hour. This time I did 6-hour. Who knows for next time?
Yeah, I don't know how high level people are. I don't know if we're going to continue the same story
I
for
know.
next year.
It's
We'll
too
see.
bad because I actually do like this Ash character, EB, and actually I would have had her do her planner shift, so we would have gone somewhere else.
Okay, and you
during
can
that
do
time.
that because EB can plane shift at
Yep.
will. So
So is Eevee like a dragon egg or what? What is
EB
what's Eevee?
EB is a dragon, is an emerald dragon.
That's what I was thinking.
She was the dragon
'cause I
egg.
breath weapon and I was like,
Correct.
yeah.
So Jao,
Dragon.
how about you? We're gonna see you in a few hours from now. 12 hours, I
Yeah,
think.
it's 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Eastern.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Chronicles Tyria or at chroniclesoftyria.com. If you're looking for the Guild Wars 2 fan stories.
All right. And Hypertroller, we talked a little bit about you, but let's hear just what you got going on. Anything? Has anything changed in the 3 hours?
All I have to say is follow twitch.tv/nerd immersion. And that is all.
Okay. And then Mr. Benzyme finally got to get a chance to play with you as well, which was awesome. So what about you? Where can we find you? Thoughts so far on this craziness, having experienced, I guess you and Hypertroller both, but I asked you first, having experienced this for the first time. What do you think? It's so stupid. What have I done? I don't know.
Yeah. And so far, there's only one person I would want on my crew.
And that is?
What was it? Katie's character.
Scarlett, gotcha.
Scarlett. Scarlett is the only one so far that I'd offer an invite to the crew. Everyone else is just crazy. We have a
He
crew
doesn't like.
got a
See,
person
I
with a
have no
dragon.
idea what's going on, so I'm just going with the story.
Yep. So,
Okay.
we'll see what happens when I come back.
All right. And then, what do you think so far, Mr. Hypertroller, having dealt with all this stuff? Craziness of this stream so far.
Fun, interesting story. If I was around here longer, I probably would know exactly what's going on.
Fair.
All I know is there's evil gourds, a cult, Terminator robots.
The Terminator robots are new for this year. That's a new one for this year.
Was that my enmity from my card?
No, that's still out there. Don't worry. The Terminator robot, it's a construct clearly created by someone with wizardly magic. But we'll never know because the 4 of you guys are gone for the next session. So we'll see what happens. All right. So,
It's pretty fun. I like it.
all right. Well, we'll see how you feel when you come back later.
Yeah, I figure I might donate for a big bad monster like I did for a Team of Annihilation when I donated for that dragon turtle.
Listen, last year we had a T-Rex, we had a dragon, a druid, a whole bunch of shit happened. So you never know.
Well,
So,
dragon turtles are like super rare and like super scary.
no, that way worked out well. So, all right, guys, we're going to bid adieu to you guys until some of you come back, and we are going to be joined shortly. We're going to take a little break here, bio break, get food and all that. We are going to be joined by Firebringer Axel and Bucky and Drew from Taking Initiative, as well as Mr. Mud Puppy as well here. So it's going to be an interesting combo of people here. A whole new crew. How are we going to fit them into the story? I forgot that there was no continuing characters for this session, so this will be fun.
They could be. You could bring them in as villagers.
We'll see.
Like,
I've got ideas.
Terminator.
You'll have to see what happens. So, anyway, thank you guys. You guys can jump off so that those guys can jump in. We'll get them set up, and then we will we'll get going. We're gonna take a break, but I just want to get them in, make sure everybody's all good to go. And thank you guys. We'll see you in a little while. Light, enjoy your sleep.
It's too early for me.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.